Hachette Audio presents What the Dog Saw and Other Adventures by Malcolm Gladwell. Read by the author.
For Henry and David. Preface. When I was a small child, I used to sneak into my father's study and leaf through the papers on his desk. He is a mathematician. He wrote on graph paper in pencil, long rows of neatly written numbers and figures. I would sit on the edge of his chair and look at each page with puzzlement and wonder. It seemed miraculous, first of all, that he got paid for what seemed at the time like gibberish. But more importantly, I couldn't get over the fact that someone who I loved so dearly did something every day inside his own head that I could not begin to understand. This was actually a version of what I would later learn psychologists call the other minds problem. A 1-year-old thinks that if they like goldfish crackers, then mommy and daddy must like goldfish crackers too. They have not grasped the idea that what is inside their head is different from what is inside everyone else's head. The leap to understanding that mommy and daddy don't necessarily like goldfish too is one of the great cognitive milestones of human development. Toddlers become entranced by the discovery that there are other minds out there, different from their own. Why is a 2-year-old so terrible? Because she is systematically testing the fascinating and to her utterly novel notion that something that gives her pleasure may not actually give her parents pleasure. The truth is that even as adults, we never lose that fascination. What is the first thing that we want to know when we meet a doctor at a social occasion? It isn't, what do you do? We know sort of what a doctor does. Instead, we want to know what it means to be with sick people all day long. We want to know what it feels like to be a doctor, because we're quite sure that it doesn't feel at all like what it means to sit at a computer all day long, or teach school, or sell cars. Such questions are not dumb or obvious. Curiosity about the interior life of other people's day-to-day work is the most fundamental of human impulses. And that same impulse is what led to the writing you are now listening to. All of the stories in What the Dog Saw come from the pages of The New Yorker, where I have been a staff writer since 1996. Out of the countless articles I've written over that period, these are my favorites. I've grouped them into 3 categories. The first section is about obsessives and what I like to call minor geniuses. Not Einstein and Winston.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?